There was a boy. His mom and dad were always at work, so no one was watching him. Children from the lower grades were very afraid of him, as the boy often bullied them and also took money from them. But most of all, the boy annoyed one girl. This girl had black hair and the same black eyes, and therefore she was nicknamed Gypsy. Or maybe she really was a gypsy. She had no parents, and she was brought to school by an old woman whose back was curved like a question mark. No one knew what the girl had done to displease this boy, but no one stood up for her, because the girl had no friends at all at school. Once, the boy's parents were even called to the principal after the boy tripped the girl up and she fell and bled her nose. But it didn't help. On the contrary, the boy began to drive the girl even more. Once he even pushed a girl right in front of an old woman. And when the old woman began to scold him loudly, he just laughed, because he knew that she would not be able to keep up with him. "Wait," the old woman said, "I know who's going to punish you." The next night, the boy had a dream. He and several other children were lying tied up on the stone floor. The boy was scared, but he couldn't figure out why. He turned his head, trying to see who he couldn't see, but he could hear his heavy breathing and creepy whistling laughter. The boy also saw a large wooden table stained with red and black paint. And behind the table, the black maw of the furnace could be seen, where flames roared. "It's not paint," the boy suddenly realized, "but blood." It was a terrible dream, but it was only a dream that was immediately forgotten in the morning. However, the next night, the boy found himself in the same dream again. And he even began to guess where the blood on the table came from and why the fire was lit in the stove. The boy stayed at home all day. He was very scared. At night, he tossed and turned for a long time, afraid to fall asleep, but when he fell asleep, his fear became even greater, because he finally saw the one who was breathing so heavily. He was huge and fat. His gnarled hands were covered with unhealed, oozing wounds, sewn with coarse threads. There was a mask on his face, but the boy immediately recognized those eyes behind the mask. He had seen such black eyes in a gypsy girl and an old woman who came to school for her. The fat man looked at the children lying tied up on the floor and began to count loudly. "People, animals, I'm nobody. Do you think that's all?" When the boy woke up in the morning, he dressed quickly and immediately ran to school. He realized who could save him. He will ask for forgiveness, he will beg them. He waited outside the school for 3 hours before it became clear that the gypsy girl would not come. Which means the old woman won't come either. And at night he found himself in the same dream again. The fat man was counting his numbers again, pointing at the children lying on the floor. "People, animals, I'm nobody. Do you think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness. No one needs me." The next day, the boy tried to find out where the gypsy girl and the old woman lived. But the children looked at the boy and couldn't understand anything. None of them knew such a girl. Even the teachers shook their heads negatively, and the principal himself could not remember that he had called the boy's parents to school. And the boy's parents didn't remember anything. And when the boy told them about the terrible dream, they just shrugged their shoulders and said that the dreams were not real, and nothing would happen to him. The boy lay in bed all night and tried not to fall asleep, but even when he lay with his eyes open, he could hear the fat man continuing his counting. "People, animals, I'm nobody. Do you think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness. No one needs me. Rats, worms, life is a game. I fell into nowhere. When it began to get light outside, the voice subsided. The boy barely got out of bed. He was very sleepy, but he knew that he had to find the gypsy girl. I have to go back to school. We should ask the other kids. Maybe someone will remember. And if they don't remember, the boy will go around the whole city, ask everyone, but he will still find the girl and the old woman. Because he already knew who the counting girl would point to in the dream. The boy's parents went to work, and no one saw that the boy fell asleep, sitting on the bed and pulling one pant leg over his leg. And even if someone had seen him, they probably wouldn't have been able to wake him up. People, animals, I'm nobody. Do you think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness. No one needs me. Rats, worms, life is a game. I fell into nowhere. Light, dawn, and silence. You'll never wake up.